Welcome back. If you just joined us, we've been looking at the NCC's quest at revamping Nigeria's telecom sector, and our guests have been the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Professor Umar Danbatta. Join us again. Tell us more about the Consumer Protection Parliament. You've been advocating for this.
Well, the NCC has been, an agency that is known for, vying inputs of critical stakeholders in the industry. This is part of that exercise. Whatever policies we have, new policies, whatever guidelines we have, whatever regulatory frameworks, new regulatory frameworks we have, we subject this to critical stakeholder engagement in order to get a buy-in of, the stakeholders towards, the articulation and final putting together of, these frameworks, guidelines, and so on and so forth. The whole idea is to have frameworks that truly reflect the yearnings and aspirations of people in the industry, including critical stakeholders.
Now, let's look at this on the part of the telecommunications provider, the service providers now. Yes. They've been complaining bitterly of multiple taxation. They've said that this has hampered the ease of doing business, which is central to the federal government campaign.
I agree. This is one area that I will not disagree with you. The federal government, through the Office of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federation, produced a document, and this document is entitled the National Economic Council Document on Taxes for the Deployment of Information and Communications Technology Infrastructure in the country. And there are provisions in this report or document on how much should be charged, for example, for deployment of fiber cable. 145 naira per meter of fiber. States at the federal, state level as well as local governments are subjecting telcos to prohibitive, regimes of taxation, ignoring the important provision of this document. And I think if the provisions of this document are unrealistic, the document is still valid up to 2018, this year that is. Nothing stops government from reviewing, the provisions, in the next report. But a situation where there is a legal document on how much to charge telcos as taxes for deployment of fiber, for example, and that is being ignored, and the telcos are being subjected to prohibitive amounts, as taxes, is not helpful towards, meeting the broadband penetration in this country.
In assessing your regulatory intervention now, there have been so much talk about and speculations about the sale of 9Mobile. How transparent is this?
Well, going back into memory lane, Nigerians will recall why the NCC and CBN intervened. We intervened in order to save 9Mobile from going under. We intervened to save Nigerians' jobs on 9Mobile. We intervene in order to send a very clear message to potential investors that their investments in this country will be secure when they eventually make those investments. These are clear, positive signals that we have sent out to investors outside the country, to consumers on 9Mobile, close to 20 million of them, okay, as well as saving jobs of Nigerians on the payroll of 9Mobile. We are driven by a patriotic...
Through the bidding process?
Well, that will be a very lengthy process.
How transparent?
It is a process that is transparent, with the emergence of a preferred bidder, as I'm talking to you, and a reserve bidder. This information is at the public, domain. So far, the preferred bidder has deposited the $50 million that they are supposed to, not refundable, and they have 90 days from the time they made that deposit to pay the balance of 450 million naira. That is on the financial side. On the technical side, the NCC will do due diligence to ensure that this investor taking over 9Mobile possesses the technical capacity to be able to run this telco successfully, efficiently, and to be able to maintain services that Nine Mobile is providing, to Nigerians. On this, we are committed, both the NCC and the CBN, to ensure that Nine Mobile remains a growing concern in the country.
Now, before we wind down this conversation now, Nigerians would want to know and will want you to bring us up to speed on the NCC fine on MTN. We understand that they have about 330 billion naira to pay.
Yes. Well, remember, the MTN fine was amicably settled, courtesy of an agreement, which MTN and NCC reached in 2016. On the basis of that agreement, MTN is required to pay the sum of 330 billion naira over a period of 3 years.